Hi, this is Sam Droege. In this video, we'll show you how to set up a network of glycol traps for monitoring native bees. First, you need to choose an area to sample. Almost any area will have bees. In the case of a sampling program that's going to run all year long, you almost always want to be in an open area. Anything with a tree canopy or in heavy shade or shade from other kinds of vegetation is not going to have bees during the time when the bowls or bowl traps or cups are shaded. In this case, we'll use this field as an example. To set up a glycol trap, an individual one or even an array, you just need a set of simple tools. You need some glycol. In this case, we put it into another container. You have some traps, which are just 12-ounce cups that have been painted blue, yellow, or white, a cup holder, and a rock or a hammer in which to pound the cup holder into place. Okay, there's a little bit of preparation here. Assuming you have 100% propylene glycol, you'll often want to cut it in half just to save money, and you can go full 100% if you're out in the desert where you have high evaporation. You'll want to add a big squirt of Dawn dishwashing liquid or some non-scented dishwashing liquid to the mix to cut down on surface tension. You don't want to shake it up because of suds. Once you have that, you're ready to go. Installation is a piece of cake. You take your cup holder and you have to watch out for the screw that's sticking out on the end and stick it into the ground in a place where it's not going to be overshadowed by vegetation. You want to keep that vegetation trimmed during the year. Pound it down with a rock. Add one of your cups. You're alternating the colors of the cups, yellow, blue, and white in alternating colors. And then you're going to add the glycol, and you're going to add it so that it fills up the glycol trap to almost to the rim, but not quite. There's usually weep holes at the top that lets water to overflow if it were to fill up too much. After setting up that one, you walk out to the next trap. You can pace out 5 meters. You theoretically have done that before you went out into the field. And start the process again. You're going to put in 9 total. And you don't have to be in a straight line. You want to avoid, again, overhangs by vegetation or shrubs, and continue till you're finished. Okay, after a couple weeks or a week or whatever the protocol is for how often you return, you come back. You need a set of equipment. You want extra cups. You want a brine shrimp net, not a regular aquarium net, but a brine shrimp net that's got very fine mesh. Some scissors, your labels, these are on extra thick stock, a pencil, and we emphasize using pencil in the field. Any kind of ink, even permanent ink, will run if in contact with alcohol. Some alcohol and whirl packs. You actually don't need to bring the alcohol in the field with you. We often put the alcohol in at the end of the day, but it is the end product. You will put alcohol into the whirl packs to preserve the specimens, and it mixes fine with the glycol. Okay, the first thing you do when you come up on a trap that's ready to be taken out, you put in a new trap, and remember your alternating colors, so you need one of each. You dump out the contents of the first trap back into the second with the intervening of the brine shrimp net, taking out any butterflies and bits and chunks of leaves. You'll notice in that last video clip that we actually used little rocks because we didn't have any bees available to mimic bees. So don't be fooled. You'll actually be keeping in bees and flies and anything else in there. But we do emphasize taking out leaves and pieces of cut grass because it really interferes with processing the specimens later, particularly butterflies because of their problem of scale. All of the 9 traps that you'll be finding and processing in a day will be pooled together. So you use the same brine shrimp net and put them all together in the same net. After that, you're going to take them out and put them into a whirl pack and include in that whirl pack a label so that we can be sure to identify what the specimens were afterwards. And in the case, again, when there might be more than one whirl pack around and labels get shifted and things get misplaced, there'll be a label inside the pack. Labels should be written on heavy paper, cardstock, or note card paper, those kinds of things. We print them out using a laser jet, not an inkjet, and in pre-formatted ways, depending on the project. You then fill out and cut out the label that you need for that day and fill out all the labels in pencil. Again, ink, even if permanent ink, will run in alcohol. We're emphasizing the use of pencils because we've had a lot of examples where the pencil either was done too lightly or the ink ran, and then we had a very difficult time figuring out where those specimens had come from, particularly when we're dealing with dozens and dozens of different sites and different places and times intermixed. Here's an example of a filled out label. Note that we use pencil, and also note that the month is spelled out. In that way we don't get confused between European and North American styles of date month or month day types of notation. Okay, so here we're coming to a site. We've got a label. We've already collected our specimens. We blow up the World Pack. We drop the label that we filled out in pencil into the World Pack. We set it up in the grass. The top's wide open. It's got a wire rim so it can stay open. Pull open the specimens. In this case, they're pretend bees. They're little rocks, but in your case, they'll be real bees. And you can just use your fingers. They won't sting you. They're dead. And drop them into the World Pack. Again, the label's already in there. It doesn't matter that they're intermixed. That just is our fail-safe. You can write on the outside of a World Pack, but again, you really need to have a label on the inside because what's on the outside might smudge or get rubbed off, and that's what allows us to make sure that we have the right batch of specimens. Now, you can do this in the field or you can do it back in the lab, but you can add alcohol to the specimens. Now, you don't want to fill the bag up, just fill up enough alcohol so it just barely covers the top of the specimens. And what you're going to do is then strip the air out of the bag above the specimens in the liquid, and then you're going to roll down the top of the World Pack until there's resistance from the liquid. Then you bend it over, you take the two wire ends and you twist them together. And after you twist them together, because wire ends are pokey, you're going to push that into the middle, and there you have a complete sack ready to go, ready to be added to a World Pack and then added and taken out for shipping. Here's an example of a tag that would go into the collection of bags from a single date, a collection of bags, a collection of Ziploc bags in one single, a collection of World Packs in a single Ziploc bag. Note that the month is spelled out. Thanks. Time to ship out those samples back to us or to someone else. So what you want to do is you want to open back up the bag, which has alcohol in it. And it could have been lying around the refrigerator, which is the proper place to store them if you can't do this right away. And you want to just drain that alcohol out without losing these specimens. And the reason for that is the Postal Service does not allow large amounts of alcohol to be shipped, and they certainly don't like leaky alcohol in their packages. So you drain it, you reconstitute the World Pack by rolling it back down and twisting the ties together and tucking it in just like normal. That keeps as much of the liquid as possible in there. You drop that World Pack into a Ziploc bag and you drop the other World Pack that is usually done the same day, if you have more than one transact done in the same day or whatever number, and you put a label in pencil in there saying what date and what place that was collected. You then take that World Pack and you put it in yet another World Pack, and in this World Pack you add a piece of blotting paper or a paper napkin or something along those lines to soak up any possibility of a leak in the alcohol. Then you zip that up and pull out all the air. And what you're going to do next is put that into a padded envelope, or if you have a large number of these things, put them into a small box and ship them out, and you're ready to go. Oh, I should point out, that's our label, those are our address. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Regular postal office service is fine. You don't have to FedEx it or UPS it. It always comes through. A very inexpensive way to send specimens. No need for the express mail kinds of services. Padded envelope, stapled.